You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, King Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Carrie Diaries After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Carrie Diaries After Show.
Hello, everyone. Bing is for doing, and we are doing another after show for the Carrie Diaries episode Caught. I'm your host, Danica Kennedy, and here with me today is...
I'm Anik Dufour. Hey guys, I'm Annika Michelle.
Well, Carrie gets caught in a lot of different situations in this episode. We're going to cover it all. Lots of stuff to talk about, but first and foremost, let's talk about Tom and Dorrit's relationship.
That was really cute.
It was cute.
Yeah.
Heartwarming.
I like that she accepted the fact that he was going to go with her.
Yeah.
And that she had him come.
At first, I didn't think she was even going to let him come to the Nutcracker because it's usually a girly sort of hangout,
Right.
must say.
Right.
Can't blame him for falling asleep.
I probably would have too, but...
I mean, I like that stuff, but a lot of older guys don't really, it's not their cup of tea usually, but I thought it was really cute that they warmed up, and it gave Dorrit the chance to talk to him and be honest. Like, Mom was the one that was there and spent alone time with me, and you've never spent alone time with me. You can't just expect me to be all like warm and cuddle up to you once she's gone. And I think that was a big step in their relationship.
Yeah, definitely. I think that finally, she told him how, she felt, and it's just out in the open now. And now he knows, to spend more time with her and to listen to her, because she says, I have a hard time talking to you because it was always Mom.
Yeah.
Mom. It's like, I never really spent time, even when he said that he was, going to the soccer games. Right. It wasn't her. It was Carrie that he went with.
That's so sad, too. He was like, oh, I've been to this with you. And she's like, that's your other daughter.
Right.
You don't spend time with me.
Yeah, but I thought it was cute at the end that he, bought her Jordan almonds because, he tried in the beginning and she was like, no, Mom said programs are a waste of money. Mom said concessions are a waste of money. And, the poor guy's just trying to, do something, get her something. And not trying to buy her love, but, just trying to make the experience a bit more pleasant. And at the end, after intermission, he ends up buying it for her, and she's chomping away, and people are staring at her. But it was fine. You can tell it was just better,
Mm-hmm.
It was cute that
he was attempting to make her happy.
Yeah,
and it worked in the end.
It did. It was cute that they went together. I like that.
Me too. I thought it was funny too that they made the scene. I don't know if this is just me because I used to do ballet, but the part where she's snacking really loud is during the most epic part of the Nutcracker, the Sugar Plum Fairy, and everyone's looking at her. I thought that was kind of funny.
It was
that they
cute.
Did that.
Yeah.
It was a cute moment. It was a little bonding moment.
And she has such a tough front, kind of when you talk to her or when he talks to her, she's always arguing and just says no right away. And I think it's cool that he still bought her them, even though she was like, no, I don't want them. They're not my favorite, or whatever she said.
She was chomping away at him.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really cute at the end when he gave the they were hugging each other so tight. I was like, oh, that's so cute, because we all know the relationship's been so up and down, and I kind of hope that after this experience it goes up more than down.
Yeah. Do you think that, they've had some bonding moments. We saw in the Halloween episode where she kind of cuddled up to him after the scary movie and things like that. Do you think she's going to go back to being Dorrit and being kind of rude to him all the time? Or do you think it's going to change their relationship in the future where they're going to be closer from now on?
I think she'll have her moments where she'll end up, snapping at him or going crazy and just stay away from me type of thing, just like any teenager.
Yeah, any teenager does that.
I think it got them to be a little closer.
Me too.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. She'll have her moments. She's not going to be completely it's Dorrit. She's not going to make life easy on you. So But I think definitely it'll be more open moments than before.
I really like Dorrit as a character.
Yeah.
I think she's one of my favorites.
She adds to the show.
Oh, yeah. She's the most, like, I don't know, controversial, or I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but I want to see her get closer to Carrie and her friends, like we've seen glimpses of in the past episodes. And I hope that she goes through her punk phase still, the 80s punk phase.
That would be cool.
I guess we'll see. Before we move on to our next topic, I just quickly wanted to bring up iTunes. If you guys are watching this on YouTube or on AfterBuzz TV, you can also go on iTunes and you could you just type in AfterBuzz TV and you can find the Carrie Diaries along with a bunch of other different shows. And be sure to tell your friends about it too. All you have to do is hit subscribe and it's free. We have tons of free shows, so take advantage of them while they're free. I mean, go check them out and tell your friends about it too. And be sure to leave comments, and we love 5 stars, of course.
Yes.
Very true. Do it, guys.
Be sure to give us your feedback. But our next topic is Interview Magazine, which I'm so glad this came up because we've been predicting this since Larissa came on the show as a character.
Since the pilot.
Yeah, we're like, she's going to work for this girl at this magazine. And finally, this episode comes around and she's offered a job because Larissa is working on her magazine. Carrie's purse was already in the magazine, and then she's helping her write it and coming up with the topics and everything. So she offers her the job.
She was coming up with some great stuff. And the second I saw Larissa, I even said, I was like, thank God she's back. Like, you know, she's been MIA for a few episodes already, but it was good to have her back, even though it wasn't a crazy Larissa. It was just like a frantic work mode Larissa. But I'm sure like things will get crazier now that Carrie's going to be at interview.
Yeah. And what do you guys think is going to happen? Because she had, you know, the theme of the episode's caught, and she's caught between if she keeps the law firm job that her dad worked really hard to get her, that she kind of needs to stay with. She had to get the school's permission and everything, or if she goes with interview, which of course I'm sure all of us want her to go with interview, and she is. But I was just thinking about the whole situation with that, with her boss, and how George was connected to her boss, and if she's leaving, like what sort of drama is that going to stir up in the next episodes?
I don't know. I'd like to see what, you know, because I mean, she spoke to her, well, she tried to talk to her dad about it. And of course, it ended up not working out that she talked to him because he says, oh, I went through all this, you know, to get you the internship. And, you know, I'm glad that you're working there and this is like really good for you. And then she tries to say, oh, well, I want to do this internship instead. And of course he's like, you know, I'm so proud of you. And she backed away. So I'm looking to see, like, I can't wait to see how she plays it out.
What do you think of her choice, though, of not telling him? Because she wasn't like, oh, I got this other job opportunity that I really want to take that I'm interested in. It's a complete secret at the moment. Do you think that's smart? Or,
no.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to find out.
They're going to find out for sure. And I feel like if she did tell him, like, the dad would be like, no, you can't leave this law firm job that I got you because he's going to look bad if she leaves. But on another note, I mean, not to get too into the dance, but things didn't work out that well with, what's his name? George. Yeah, so I feel like that also helped with her decision of taking an interview because now she's like, you know what? I don't have to see him in the office anymore that much. I mean, I don't want to get too much into it right now, but we all know, like, it wasn't a good time at the end of the dance with them.
They break up. We know that.
Yeah,
we can announce it.
But yeah, I think that pushed her more into like, okay, I don't want to see him now, or I don't want to work for his dad, so I'm gonna do this interview magazine with something I love. So I think that kind of helped her push into the like, you know,
and she doesn't have to talk about it with her boss Barbara,
exactly,
who is really close with him and loves him
and is like sleeping around with some other man.
I love that
a little too much information.
She came to work an hour and a half late because she slept over at a guy's place, which is so out of character for her.
And she's like fixing her hair in the office and everything. I'm just like, oh my gosh, okay.
She had a little hot mess night moment there.
She did.
Wearing the same clothes as the night before.
I like how, you know how, okay, I'm such a big Sex and the City fan, so whenever they relate things to the future, like Sex and the City, I get really excited. But they were talking about it in the diner. All the girls, they were talking about Barbara's one-night stand, and they're all feeling so bad for her, like, ugh, I don't want to be in my 30s and not married.
Yeah.
Like, and we know later on that
they're
Carrie's gonna be
yeah.
single till she's like 40. So I think that's really funny.
It is really
That
funny.
they just throw things like that in there here and there, and it's just like,
Yeah.
I know what's gonna happen because I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I thought that was
Cute.
kind of funny. Should we dive into the school dance?
Let's go. There's a lot to
go.
talk about in there.
This is where the juice is.
This
So
is the good
who should we
stuff.
talk about first? Carrie, who looked
Sure.
amazing.
Can we talk about that dress? That is
Beautiful.
so
Oh my gosh.
I
I-
liked
so cute.
Maggie's dress too.
I
The
did-
sparkles.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take if the wardrobe department wants to send us some dresses from that show. If they're not going to ever wear it again,
Hint,
we
hint.
will be more than happy to take it off your hands.
Yeah.
We'll wear them on the show all the time.
Yeah, it's so great. I loved her dresses.
Me too, and her hair with
Her-
the little ribbon.
Yeah.
The costume design and everything
She looked
was
stunning.
great.
I
On
mean,
this
she looks
episode.
pretty all the time, but like she looked like Cinderella. She looked like
Beautiful.
a princess. It was
Yeah.
so great.
Which is why she caught Sebastian's eye at
She
the
did,
dance.
even though he was
She
with
did.
Donna LaDonna.
Oh, what's with Donna's lips?
Okay,
Can we just go off topic for a second? But like, seriously, what's
They're
wrong with them?
so big.
like the upper lip is bigger than
They're
the
like
lower
inflated.
lip.
They're like the Angelina Jolie of like the Carrie Diaries, like
but bigger.
the like pop
Yeah.
up thing. It's
It's just like
scary.
it's big for her face. I mean, I don't know if she's done anything or not, but there's just I
It's
don't
kind
know.
of impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone with lips that big.
Naturally.
And she has big boobs.
She does. See, I told you.
Yeah.
Remember the first thing I said when she came on the screen? I was like, "Dang, her boobs got big." And
I don't know
like,
if they patted her, like
or like pushed it up
more,
or what.
like,
But I
what?
noticed that this week that her boobs had gotten bigger.
I sure didn't look like that in high school. That's all I have to say.
I was like, "All right, girl."
She's the hot bitchy girl on the show. That's her character. The big lips and the big boobs and the big attitude that
Yes.
she brings out all the time, which is why she's my favorite, besides Dorrit.
Right.
The ones that are high drama, I guess,
Yeah.
are my favorites. But so Carrie, she asks George to the dance because they've been dating for a while. And her and Sebastian still totally have chemistry. They see each other in the hallways, and she's clumsy around him and awkward and embarrassed. And he's always checking her out, even though he's with Donna. And so when they're at the dance, he's just blatantly staring at them together. Sebastian's staring at them together. And Donna sees him and gets really jealous, of course. And it's just interesting to see how Donna's handling it. She doesn't confront Sebastian like, hey, why are you looking? She goes around and asks Maggie to
Right. Yeah.
keep an eye on her because she caught Maggie hooking up with the cop guy.
Right.
and
She's
says-
blackmailing her.
Yeah, it's
Totally.
total
Yeah.
blackmail. Smart though.
And
Yes.
that's exactly what she does, though. But really fast, going back to what you said about Sebastian staring at him, I love that, like, Carrie came over all upset and, like, going off on him and everything. And then Sebastian said, like, if you're so happy with George, then why are you even looking here? Because it's true. Like, if she was truly happy, if you are truly happy with someone you're with, you don't even pay attention to who's around you, let alone, like, who's staring at you, you know? And to notice that constantly, like, your mind is clearly wandering somewhere else, not with the person you're with. So I thought that was a funny point, and she couldn't even answer the question. She just walked away.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know she still has feelings. for him.
Right. She totally has feelings.
And it's so true that she has feelings, especially with what we see, what happens with her and George. They get into his car and he just wants to have sex with her. And she's like, there's a driver right there. I'm
Yeah.
nervous. And he keeps pressuring her. And then she finally says, I'm a virgin. Like, I don't want to lose it right here to some guy who's forcing me into it in like this uncomfortable situation car
Yeah.
thing, and it's so unromantic. And then he's like, well, why don't you just finish me then? And she's
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah.
bye.
Like,
Guys, come on. Really? That's not kosher.
Don't
You know,
be
it's
that
like, you don't
gross.
want- Yeah.
like,
Go, guys.
be, like, you know, it would have been sweet if he was like, okay, I get it, babe, or like, you know, whatever, and we don't have to do this now, we'll wait, whatever. Like, doesn't matter. Don't tell her to, like, help you out or whatever, and, like, not, you know, that's not okay.
It's like he used her. He
Yeah.
pretty much used her for, you know.
For
Sex.
sex, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think she did the right thing for sure. She
did.
just left and dumped him, which is for the best too, because she's throughout the episode, the whole caught theme was she's caught between the two jobs, she's caught between the two boys, and then her friends' opinions on what to do with her life. But now she's not caught between the boys. She can have a crush on Sebastian, even though he's Donna's territory at the moment still. But we'll see where that goes.
That's not gonna last.
Yeah, that's not gonna last.
Because he had that spark in his eye when he was checking her out, and she, you know, kept looking, obviously, and there's something, you're not going to keep looking if there's nothing there, so.
What did you guys think about the whole Sebastian telling Donna about the Thanksgiving thing and Carrie not telling George about Sebastian being at her Thanksgiving?
I think it just proves that she still has feelings for him. You know, and she doesn't want to tell George because she doesn't want, maybe she doesn't want him to think that, you know, she does still have feelings for him.
Yeah.
So by telling George, he's going to be, like, all, like, jealous. And
also, I think George asked, like, who was that? And she said no one.
Yeah, she said nobody.
Yeah.
And honestly, I kind of feel like he didn't tell Donna. I kind of feel like he just said that to her. Like, she's not going to go double check and be like, hey, Sebastian was at my, like, she's not like that. Donna would have done that if it was the other way around, but she wouldn't. And I think he knows that, and I really, for some reason, don't think he told her. Because I feel like it would have been a lot worse if she had known.
Yeah.
I think so, too. I'm glad she's not with George. Do you guys like George? What do you think of him?
I think he was just kind of like a stepping stone.
Yeah.
You know, kind of just like a, you know,
I have to
Sebastian's
say,
not there, so we'll go with George.
We're really good at our predictions on this show
because
I kind of agree.
I mean, for the last few weeks, we've been talking about how Carrie's going to find some guy in Manhattan. So that happened.
Yeah.
How she's going to go out more in New York. That happened. I mean, these are all somewhat predictable, of course.
Right.
But, and then the interview magazine that she'd become an intern there, and that's happening now. So I'm proud of us, ladies.
We're doing good. The next one that needs to come true is that Austin Butler needs to come in, because we predict that every week, and so far that's not happening.
Yeah.
So Austin, if you're watching this, or anybody from the cast watching this, y'all need to come in here.
Yes, definitely.
Let that production
Hit us
come
up.
true.
Tweet us. Well, speaking of the whole Donna LaDonna situation, maybe we should dive into her relationship with Maggie. And they've had a rough past, you know, the territory of the diner. They don't like each other. And in the earlier part of this episode, we see them at their lockers next to each other, and they're both putting hard alcohol into their lockers, which I'm like, I wouldn't get away with that when I was in high school.
Oh, no. Right.
Not at all. They're so casual. Like, oh, here's a big bottle of, you know.
Something,
whatever, peach. I don't even remember what it was. I just remember it was peach for some reason.
Yeah.
But they've always had their lockers by each other, and they've always hated each other. So they've constantly had that. Yeah. And then later in the episode, Donna sees Maggie getting out of the car with the cop guy after the dance. And I felt bad for Maggie during the dance because she was dancing by herself. Walt was home with the chicken pox or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was sad. I wouldn't want to go to a dance by myself.
No, that would not be a fun time.
Well, at least she wasn't a wallflower, though. She looks good.
That's true.
She looked like she was having fun other than the slow songs, so.
And then she left early, and that's when she saw the cop.
When they showed that shot of her dancing, I was like, who is that? She looks really hot, like cool dress. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, she's Maggie being a loner, but not a wallflower, like center of attention loner.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why she left early and met up with the cop. And they hooked up for one more time, which she always claims
always
the
last time.
Do. And he even said that back. He was like, oh, we'll say it's the last time until it happens again or something.
Yeah, and then she got upset because she's like, no, it's not going to happen again. He was like, well, that's what you said the last time. And there's been a couple of instances like that where she said that, and that, you know, one thing leads to another, and there you go. But I'll say that part in a second, but go on.
Well, she finally got caught by Donna, so Donna waits inside for her to come in and says, like, oh, what was that kind of all about? And then Maggie says, like, oh, he works for my dad, kind of thing. Oh, are you supposed to bang him?
Right.
like, are you supposed to sleep with him? And so she says, keep your the tiny annoying friend you have away from my man, and I won't tell, but if you don't, then I'm going to tell Walt.
Yeah.
And I'm just interested to see what's going to happen when Walt finds out, and how he's going to find out, whether it's Maggie gives him the information first or Donna gets there first. And if when he's told, that's gonna push him to come out of the closet more, because they've obviously had their problems, and she even says that in this episode. She's like, there's something,
she thinks it's her,
not there. Yeah, like it's our relationship issues are failing, and she thinks it's something to do with her, like not doing sex right or whatever it is. But what do you guys think of that whole situation?
I think it was interesting that Donna told her that, and at the end when she's talking to Carrie, and like first she was like kind of not getting mad, but she was just like, well, maybe you should have, gone with George or whatever. And then Carrie's like, what do you mean? Like, you wanted to be romantic. And then like 2 minutes later, time has passed, and she tells her like, okay, yeah, this is what happened. Like, she confesses to the cheating thing and everything. So I feel like because she told Carrie, I don't think she's gonna keep Carrie away from Sebastian. Like, at first she was like maybe kind of trying, like, you should have gone with George, not gone with Sebastian. But then like I feel like now that Carrie knows everything about their, like, that she cheated on Walt and everything, that Carrie's gonna get to Sebastian and she's not gonna stop her. So Donna better watch out.
Did Maggie though tell Carrie about Donna and catching her?
No,
this episode, no. She just told her about the original.
Right, but she was trying to stop her from. She was trying to like encourage her to go back to George and stop her. She's like, well, maybe you should get over Sebastian. Like, she was trying to stop her at first, and then she's like, why am I doing this? You know. So
So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens there.
I kind of missed if when she was talking to Carrie about cheating, did she say, oh, I cheated on him tonight at the dance, or did she say like, I've been cheating on him?
I think she pretty much told him told Carrie the instant that she didn't have it. Walt wasn't her first time.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's kind of what she was telling Carrie. I don't think I didn't get that she told him. She told her about him tonight, about the cop situation tonight.
Okay.
I don't know about the tonight thing, but I know she told her about it happening multiple times. Yeah. Because she said, because Carrie was even like, it wasn't just once that you cheated. So Carrie knew it was more than one time that she hooked up with the cop. Whether she knew it just happened an hour ago or like past, I don't know about that, but she did tell Carrie it was multiple times.
Yeah, well, in the beginning of the series, she brags about how she's had sex, and then Walt says he hasn't had sex, so she probably connected the dots immediately.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, but I'm just curious to see how Walt's going to react, and I still want to see Maggie's family, because she mentions it a few times in this episode of like, oh, my family, when our next topic kind of within talking about the party is Mouse and her grades and stuff, but she talks about how she doesn't really put grades first and how her family is. So I just want to see Maggie's family and Walt and see what happens with their relationship.
Yeah. This poor girl, like, she was freaking out because she got a B+ on a test or something, and she doesn't get anything but an A+, so she decided to do some extra credit to like help her grade. And this girl's like sitting, like, has the extra credit tucked into her dress with a pen. It's like hiding in hallways doing it until like Seth comes and is like, what are you doing? And then she was like 7 minutes late to turn in the paper. They get caught by the janitor. It was just not her night, and she didn't get the extra credit.
That her teacher was really rude about it though. Like, she was like, please, can I do extra credit? I have a B+, and I understand that is a good grade, but she gave her so much homework on the night of the school dance, so of course she's like trying to finish it, and then she tries to slip it under the door. And it slips under the desk, so she's like, oh no. And so Seth tries to help her break into the office, and then they get caught, and she almost gets in huge trouble for it, but the teacher just realizes that
she's not the kind of girl that'll sleep around in a classroom, especially.
Yeah, and she's such a workaholic. I mean, no one else studies like that.
No. And even after the dance, she went home, and everyone's, like, taking off their dress, their jewels, and she's taking out her history book. And I'm like, girl, you're still in your dress from the dance. Put the history book away. Like, it's probably Friday night. What are you doing,
Like the complete opposite of me and what I would do.
Like, it was
But props to her.
Yeah, no, she wants to get to Princeton, Yale, and Stanford, so.
And her B+ came between her relationship.
It did.
That's a little pushing. I'm sorry, guys. It's a little bit pushy.
That's what I thought too.
I would have had a party if I'd have gotten a B+.
Yeah, me too.
So, but it's just it's ridiculous
I understand if you have a job or something you're aspiring to do and you feel like your boyfriend or whoever is getting in the way, but at least like talk it out. Say like, hey, I have a test coming up, let's not see each other as much so I can get some studying in. I think there's always compromise. There is. And they didn't even look at it. They both said their grades have gone down a little bit since they started seeing each other, and they're like, okay, it's over. And I thought that was really weird. They've been so crazy about each other, and for a B+ to come between her first big relationship.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah. It's really weird to me. And I hope they get back together or something, or because I don't want Mouse to just be like extreme nerd, must get into Princeton like all the time. Like if
I kind of want her to have a wild night. Well, they showed her wild night with their feet, so
yeah. And she did smoke weed on Halloween.
True. So she's had her moments. I just want her to like
5-minute periods.
Yeah, her loosen up a little bit more for longer periods of time.
Yeah. I want to meet Mouse's family too.
Yeah,
really
that would
bad.
be amazing.
Mouse and Maggie, because even talking about this in the episode, Mouse was like, oh, I got a B+, and Maggie's like, in my family that would have gotten like a standing ovation. So
well, they showed a clip of her family, well, a little bit of her family last week. It was just like mostly guys.
Drinking beer and stuff,
drinking beer and like college age guys. So but it's definitely not gonna be like that at Mouse's house, you know that. So
complete opposite. Very
so strict and yeah.
We'll probably find out why though she flips out so much too, because she got a B+. Maybe,
maybe her parents are really like if she doesn't get an A, she's gonna be grounded or
there must be something going on.
Yeah.
So
something
weird.
we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon.
Speaking of getting grounded or in trouble, it'll be interesting to see if Carrie's gonna get in trouble too with the interview magazine. If her dad. Oh, speaking of that, the preview for next episode. Oh my gosh.
Okay, wait a minute. What is Tom doing in a club in Manhattan?
I know. That's what I was really confused about.
Is he with George's father again? Is what I want to know.
I'm thinking that's what probably happened.
Yeah. Probably the
Tried
most
to
likely.
go pick up like ladies. Probably was like older crowd because Larissa's there and they're like, oh, let's go get some ladies, and then he's like, what the heck? Why is my 16-year-old here?
And Sebastian's at the club too, right?
Yeah. What is that?
Oh, looks like it's going to be a good episode.
Yeah.
I was excited about the preview for this episode too. I was
like,
drama at the dance.
Drama, always.
Dance scenes with glitter and lots of people that shouldn't be there. That's usually how the previews are for this show. But
yeah.
I like it.
Yes. I do too.
Do you guys have any other topics you want to talk about?
That pretty much covered it for me.
Wraps it up for me too.
Yeah.
Well, we do not have any news or gossip, sadly, for tonight's episode, and we're looking for it too. Like, I think the stars for this show need to go have a wild night out so we can report on it. Have a little sleaze.
Help us out.
Yeah. Go out, guys, please. Like, there's nothing reported. Like, the Twitters, there's nothing exciting. Like, they're just promoting the show, which is great because we're obviously doing the show. But, I mean, come on, people. Have,
we
like,
want
a
little
crazy
juice.
night.
Yeah.
Take pictures. Like, help us out here. For us, if for nothing else,
For our entertainment here.
Junk pictures falling out of a car always helps.
Anything.
No underwear. Come on. Do something.
Yeah. Do something crazy.
You guys live in or something.
You guys live in New York. That place never sleeps. You have to be doing some craziness.
Maybe they're just really good at flying under the radar.
I think they are.
Yeah.
Discovers.
And paparazzi is not as crazy in New York as it is in LA. That's
true.
another thing.
Yeah.
So they're getting away with things. I'm sure they're getting away with a lot of things that paparazzi is not catching. So.
Well, I'm sure that's good for them.
Yeah.
But not for us. We want to hear the dirt.
No.
Let's be honest.
Maybe next time.
Yes. Well, let's move on to some predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
So, my prediction, based off the preview that we just saw, is that Carrie's dad sees her in the nightclub, and then she has to fess up about Interview Magazine and her life in New York, and he's going to get mad and want to try to take it away from her, and she's going to get really upset.
Yes. My prediction is that Danica said my prediction.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I'm going to be in it?
Oh, okay.
I wish.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I'll twist it back to Carrie and Sebastian, and I think, considering they were at a club together, I don't know if it was a run-in or they planned to go together, but I'm going to say they went together. And Donna's just going to be having a... I don't know if he would break it up with her. I feel like he'd kind of string her along a little bit, because he's like that. But definitely something's going to happen, and he's going to get back with Carrie.
Ooh, I just thought of another prediction. If she's at a nightclub in LA, Larissa's probably there. And if her dad's there...
In Manhattan.
Oh, yeah.
Right. We live in LA.
LA. Manhattan. So if they're at a club in Manhattan and her dad's there, she might be with Larissa if she's out on the town. So Larissa might find out her age.
That's what I'm thinking.
They run into her dad. So that could happen too.
Seems to be coming crashing down.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yep. Well, that's our show for tonight. We'll be back here next week, so be sure to tune in. My name is Danica Kennedy, and you can find me on Twitter at Danica Kennedy and at danicakennedy.com.
And I'm Anik Dufour, and you can find me on Twitter at justanik and anikdufour.com.
You can find me at Twitter at Annika_Michelle or Facebook.com/Annika Michelle1.
And you can find all of us at Twitter at AFTERBUZZ TV. We'll see you guys next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.